welcome back to another What's in There video. Today we're going to take a look at this huge box right here. Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress is one of the new titles coming out from Games Workshop, and it's got no less than 44 different models in it, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get down to the table. I'll show you everything that comes in the box, and then we'll also put a couple models together so you can see just how simple it is. So here is Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress. So this is going to be kind of like an unboxing, a little bit different than the regular What's in There, but we're going to go ahead and get this open, and let's see what we have here. Now, there's going to be, let's look at the back of this real quick. Oh my goodness. All right, those are some neat looking models, and of course they don't come pre-painted like that, but it includes 44 miniatures. Wow. Okay, I don't know how you guys keep up with this stuff, but it is a chore. But it is a first world problem, definitely. So let's go ahead and crack this open. We're definitely going to see a lot of sprues here. All right, so we do have that, definitely. Sprues aplenty. So they have two different colors. That's good. So if you don't want to paint them, you don't necessarily have to, but of course we all know that's part of the fun, right? So that's some pretty good detail there. Wow. Wow, it doesn't look like 44. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess we're not gonna call them liars. They know what they put in the box, right? But that just does not look like 44 miniatures to me, but they look like they're smaller miniatures. They're not, you know, Space Marines and what have you. And then, wow, we've got a whole bunch of dice. Oh, they're not all sixes. Got some, what is that, 12s? Got some 12-sided dice in there. That looks cool. An 8-sided die and a bunch of sixes and a 20. All right, well, that's cool. What is this? These look like pouches that are made for this game. Are you serious? Well, that's pretty cool. Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress. Okay, cool, cool. All right, so we have, looks like a bunch. Oh, here's some regular baggies as well. All right, have some punch boards here. Let's get this open. All right, so we've got punch board number 1. Okay, modular boards. Oh wow, that just kind of came apart. That's cool. And there is even a half one. That's interesting. Breaking these things open, you never know really, and I haven't read anything about it either, so that's just kind of, but those, you saw how easily those things came out. They are double-sided too, so that's cool. So that looks like a dead something or other. And then some kind of throne, maybe. That's cool. All right, well, let's get back to some of this other stuff here. All right, so first off, we've got the how to put everything together. So that's pretty cool. Give you a little bit of a close-up there. A lot of neat looking miniatures in there. And painting guides on the back, so that all is standard. Let's see here. The background, the story of the fortress. I like that. I like the fact that they put the lore in a different book. It's not part of the actual rule book. Then turn this over. We have rules. Read this first. Read this when combat occurs. So they tell you to get started with this, and then read this when combat occurs for use in games of Warhammer 40K. All right, so the stuff that comes in the box can also be used in Warhammer 40K. And then Precipice, read this when you return to the Precipice. All right, so that's cool that there's a overarching storyline that's going on there. So that's cool. So we start with the rules here. So there's going to be some exploration going on, it looks like, because that's going to be, I believe, the starting setup. Yep, start of a game. And then you have setup here. These are action dice. All three of those are action dice. Failure is a blank, success, and then a critical success is 2. All right, that's cool. And then combat begins. So we have to introduce combat, huh? Whoa. All right, so that's a little bit through mid-range, I guess. Fight combat, battlefield creation. Huh. Well, this looks intriguing. And so here we also have a whole bunch of cards, stronghold artifacts. We have, these are all stronghold artifacts. So blasting charges, plasma bombs, reactor field, chaos space marines, traitor guardsmen, negavolt cultists, urgles, rogue psychers, chaos beastmen. This looks like a threat deck of some kind. New threats. Chaos Space Marine, Chaos Beastman. Yeah, Rogue Psychers, heightened threat level. Spindle Nanovirus. Oh, these are... Oh, countdown deck. Huh. Interesting. Architect. What are these? These are discovery cards. Looks like they're all Architect. But it looks like they have different values at the bottom. So, okay. Oh, there's also clues. Here, exploration cards. So, okay. Don't know how to read these, but I imagine it tells you what to place and all that kind of stuff. So, the different kinds of combat are going to happen. All right. So, initiative Janus. Messed up the card there. All right, so these are just initiative cards for the different characters that are here. Ren and Rouse, Rattling Twins. And then we have some encounter cards, it looks like. Why do they have to make these things so hard? Or it might just be me. I'm very okay with that. Encounter cards, all right, so let's put it over. 7, so if you're in level 1, you get 7 Traitor Guardsmen. Huh, okay. And this says, do not open until the Hidden Vault quest has been completed. So, we will not open this. And this looks like data sheets. So we have Janus, Tadius the Purifier, Espen Lorcano, Pius Vorn. Wow, that is a cool model. Rain and Rouse, UR 025, Dak Greg, Amalin Shadow Guide, Traitor Guardsmen, Negavolt Cultists, Urgles, a Spindle Drone, Rogue Psycher, Chaos Beastmen, Chaos Space Marines, and Obsidious Malix. All right, well, that's about everything that comes in the box. Let's go ahead and get to putting a couple of those models together. So whenever you're building the models, of course, you're going to have the directions out here, and then you'll have your sprues that you'll have to cut the models off of. And usually that's not a very difficult thing, especially if you have one of these little guys right here. They make the job really easy. If you see that it has a flat surface right here where the cut is actually made, make sure that that is up against the model so that you can get as clean a cut as possible. And then after you snip all of these different pieces like this, it should pop right off, like so. And then you do that to all of the different pieces first. So once you have everything cut out, you're going to take the first two pieces that go together, C2 and C1. It's the hand that has his hammer in it and the front of his body. And you're going to simply just look at the way it's supposed to go together. And so this hammer is going to come across his body, and then the shoulder pauldron is going to fit together like that right there. You always want to try to test fit it so that you make sure it's going to go on pretty easily. Where the contacts are going to be made, you don't need a whole lot. And then just make sure that it holds together. You want to hold it for, you know, I usually hold it for around 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, depending on the piece. But these are models that fit together pretty well, and they have pretty much a seamless join there. Sometimes, not all the time, but you have that now, and you could probably go ahead and move on to the next piece that goes onto this part. And so now C3, as we can see right here, is the back where his cape is and all that good stuff. And it looks like his body is just going to fit. These two posts here are going to go into those two voids right there. And so you just want to, again, make sure that it fits properly before you apply any glue. And you might find that you may not need to glue it, but I usually do anyway. And you just want to make sure that you've pressured it enough to where the gap in there closes, and you're pretty much good to go. So that is his torso pretty much done, and his legs. And now we go look to see what's next. So we have then his other arm and then his backpack as well. That's going to be pretty simple. So let's go ahead and do the arm first, since it has a pretty good post and a void to go onto there. And this is one of those times where you can pretty much, since it's a circular one, it doesn't have any shape to it, you can pretty much choose how you want that to go. So if you want him pointing it at somebody like so, or if he's just holding it down at his side and walking as it's shown here in the picture, you can do that as well. But feel free to make those little, looks like it might not fit very well, so you might want to go ahead and stay with that. But sometimes you can pretty much do what you would like here, but it doesn't look like it's going to fit very well if you have him pointing the gun. So I'd recommend just go ahead and putting it on there like that. And again, as you can see, it does not take a whole lot of glue here. Just put enough on there so that it makes that connection, and hold it there for about 20-30 seconds and you should be good to go. Next we have his backpack. So the backpack is going to be going on right here. And again, like we said earlier, just make sure that you can test fit it. And once you are clear that it's going to fit fine, you can go ahead and apply the glue and stick it on. And that will just pop right on there like that. And this one is pretty tight fit, so you probably don't need to hold it that long, but pretty good to go. And then finally, all we need to do is make sure that he goes onto the base. He has a little bit of a different base than normal, where he had something else here, a little bit of terrain that you had to stick in there. That was a separate piece. And now his foot post goes into the back there, and you probably want to put a little bit of glue on his foot up there as well, just to make sure that everything is good. And once you have enough glue on there, you simply apply the model there like so. And if you see that the glue has pulled up a little bit, usually you can just give a little bit of a puff of air, and that'll spread it out a bit and it won't be as noticeable. But that is the Chaos Lord ready to go, without his paint job, of course. And then next we're going to do the Imperial Robot here, which is this right here, which looks like he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's what it looks like. So not a whole lot, and they're right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 over there. So we're just going to start clipping them out. All right, so after we get everything clipped out, we simply just follow the directions here. So we're going to take this piece right here, which matches A33, and then A34 is also going to go on the back here, and those are just going to pop right in. So that looks like a pretty good fit. And then this piece, which is his torso, is going to go on front like so. And it looks like a pretty good fit as well. We're going to have to work a little bit with it, but it looks like it is going to go in there just fine. And so we'll go ahead and start putting glue on these posts here. And I found that putting the glue on the actual posts helps with some of that glue not showing on the outside of the model. So that just, and you know, it works the same as far as how it holds the model together and so forth. So, and these are going to go in there just like that. So again, we're just adding the glue to where the posts are going to be, and that will be plenty. Sometimes you do have to use a little bit of elbow grease to get that in. I had to pull it back out of camera to really apply a good amount of pressure to close up this side of it. So sometimes you have to do that, sometimes you don't. Alrighty, so we're pretty much good with that. Now we just have to add his 2 arms. This arm is going to go on this side, and the other one will go on the other side. Now it has a couple of different connecting points here, so we want to make sure that it lines up on all of those. And so after we get all those guys glued together, he's ready to go. Got the base on there too, not bad at all. He fits together pretty well, and he looks pretty good as well. Maybe there's a little gap right there we just need to hold for just a little bit so that it has a continuous look there. But he's pretty much ready for battle now, except for his paint job, but you know how that goes. So that's all the models I'm going to put together today for, you know, just showing you basically how it is. And if we look through the book here, most of the models here are just a couple of different pieces. Like you have, well, it looks like 4 pieces on this one. This one also has 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a whole lot of pieces. These are simple models to put together. Not a whole lot of difficulty at all. I mean, you are getting into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that one has a lot, but that's 2 different models. You have Ryan and Rouse. A Malin Shadow Guide only has looks like 1, 2, 3 pieces. So again, these models are not difficult to put together. They're pretty simple for Games Workshop models. I mean, there are some Space Marine models that have like 10 pieces to them. So this is definitely on the easier side. So there you have it, Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress. There's a lot of intriguing looking stuff in there, so I'm really excited to get this to the table, get through those rule books, and try to get it played well. I got to build the models first, but that's part of the fun, right? And on top of that, you saw how simple those models were to put together. They don't have a whole lot of pieces, so it's probably going to be a pretty quick build, but hey, that will change from person to person. But I just wanted to show you how simple it really is if you just take your time and put a little bit of effort into it. Well, my whole purpose here is just to show you what's in the box so you can make a better decision on whether or not you're going to purchase it for your own collection, and I hope I've done that. On the flip side, we'll see you. Take care.